Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Parts Talk. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now today we're going to be talking about battery recycling. I know my emphasis has been on EVs all week, well, for most of my videos, but what I want to do is to bring light what has been happening in the industry and how it is going to affect each and every one of us after 2035 and going forward. I don't think a lot of people know how serious this is in terms of prices, the features, the make, the model, and also the environmental impact that this is going to have on our daily lives. But someone has to spread the word. Electric vehicle battery recycling is an essential process for reducing waste and reusing valuable materials. Li-Cycle is a leading company in lithium-ion battery recycling, using their innovative spoke and hub process to collect and process batteries from various sources. And Li-Cycle is a company here in Canada. Other companies like Standard Lithium and Tesla also have sustainable battery recycling programs that extract materials like lithium, cobalt, and nickel from old batteries. By recycling and reusing these materials, we can reduce our reliance on mining and create a more sustainable future. And remember, we did a video some time ago on the subject of cobalt and how it has been mined by children in certain part of Africa, which has been dubbed blood batteries. So let's get into this video.
These are dead electric vehicle batteries, but a Canadian startup is giving them new life. At its Kingston, Ontario plant, Li-Cycle recycles the lithium-ion batteries that power most EVs, as well as phones and laptops. And work here is shifting into high gear.
The more electric vehicles, the more consumer batteries, etc. we see in the economy, the greater the potential is, and we want to be able to expand.
It's a new but quickly growing industry. The company literally shreds the batteries, sifting out the metals and plastics for recycling.
So
the main byproduct, though, is known as black mass.
This is the valuable stuff.
yeah, this is the valuable stuff. This is the most expensive part of your batteries.
The black mass is a mixture of lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Right now, Li-Cycle sends it out for processing, but by next year plans to take that on itself. It says it can recover 95% of those critical minerals needed to make new EV batteries.
At the beginning of the video, it actually says that the industry is growing, but what you can see and what you can ensure is that in the dealership environment, EVs actually uses less service. With less service, you're going to have less mechanics and less parts available to service these units. And that will also mean less employees being employed at these dealerships. On the other hand, more cars, more EVs on our roads will mean companies like these will emerge in order to sustain and manage the importation of these scraps that are coming from these EVs.
Demand for critical minerals has soared. One report suggests recycling old EV batteries could reduce the need for new mines by 20% by 2040.
Critical minerals are mined in just a few countries. Amid tight supply, prices have spiked. Li-Cycle's CEO says it's all the more reason for recycling.
And again, what you see there is mining. And this happens at the erosion of our environment itself, which we so much want to protect.
There's no limit on the number of times the same lithium, nickel, cobalt atom can be recycled.
Other battery recyclers like Lithion Recycling and Retrieve Technologies are also ramping up, as 3.5 million electric cars are expected to hit Canadian roads by the end of the decade.
The waste is already emerging, there's no plan, and there's no supply chain to hoover it up.
While Canada hasn't pledged federal funding for recycling EV batteries, the U.S. has, spending hundreds of millions of dollars. Experts say Ottawa needs to catch up.
And if you reside here in Canada, you'll know all about the gatekeepers who actually keep important stuff out and not being proactive when things come about. They are rather reactive when the problems are long ahead.
Policy needs to move forward is all of the money out there for electric car incentives or electric bus purchases actually need to be tied to buses and cars that have a recycling plan attached to them.
There wasn't much talk of recycling when Paul Rappaport bought his Tesla back in 2014.
It's very important to know that these batteries are not going to end up in a landfill.
He says better recycling options will drive more consumers to EVs.
People will feel a lot better if they know their batteries are going to be recycled or repurposed.
For these battery recyclers, there's still a long road ahead, but it's a path that shows promise, turning old EV batteries from trash into treasure. Nisha Patel, CBC News, Kingston, Ontario.
Another thing that we also have to look at is when EVs actually take over, this is actually coming. It's something that we can't prevent because of the regulations and the legislations that have been put in place that will affect all of us. But one has to think that once EV takes over, will the stolen vehicle phenomenon that has impacted the current combustion engine also take toll on the EVs, knowing that their batteries will be of value in the recycling industry? And that is something we also need to think about. But let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It will only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.